Brighton has more than 400 restaurants, the oldest aquarium in the world. It has tunnels hidden underground. Brighton is one of two in Britain with a Grade 1 listed pier. The city has lots of nicknames. Brighton is home to the oldest cinema in the UK. The city was the backdrop of ABBA's Eurovision success. Brighton is not the city's official name and is unofficially the gay capital of Britain, and its history dates back to the Neolithic Revolution. Welcome to Brighton, East Sussex, and our exploration of this incredible, diverse city. Archaeological evidence of settlements in the area dates back to the Neolithic, Bronze Age, Roman and Anglo-Saxon periods. The ancient settlement was originally known as Brighthelmstone and was the city's official name right up to the early 19th century. It eventually adopted the preferred shortened version and is what is now known today as Brighton. In the mid-1780s, George, Prince of Wales, rented a small lodging house overlooking a fashionable promenade in Brighton. Around this time, Brighton was developing from a decayed fishing town to an established seaside retreat for the rich and famous, being that it was close to London. It was also popular for the therapeutic, health-giving seawater remedies made famous by Dr. Richard Russell. The Prince had been advised by his physicians to benefit from Brighton's fortunate climate and to try out seawater treatments, which include dipping, total body immersion into salt seawater. Perfect spot for a dip in the sea, anybody? Brighton suited George, who was a vain and extravagant man with a passion for fashion, the arts, architecture and good living. He rebelled against his strict upbringing and threw himself into a life of drinking, womanizing and gambling. So, with his love of Brighton, George hired architecture Henry Holland to transform his Brighton lodging house into a modest villa, which became known as the Marine Pavilion. With his love of visual arts and fascination with the mythical Orient, George set about lavishly furnishing and decorating his seaside home. He especially chose Chinese export furniture and objects and hand-painted Chinese wallpapers. By 1815, George commissioned John Nash to begin the transformation from modest villa into the magnificent Oriental palace that we see today, and it's literally just behind us now. There's Brighton Pavilion, everybody, and they're actually restoring it. They're restoring the inside of that building and the outside, so sadly it's closed to the public, but we'll share a few photographs with this video so everyone can see how incredible it looks inside and out. George's presence had an enormous impact on the prosperity and social development of Brighton from the 1780s. Brighton's population grew significantly from around 3,620 inhabitants in 1786 to 40,634 in 1831. Many of the handsome seafront squares and crescents that still stand today are attributable to the arrival of George IV and the fashionable Regency era. Queen Victoria made her first visit to the Royal Pavilion in 1837, and this gesture of royal approval thrilled the people of Brighton. However, the lack of space in the Royal Pavilion and the association with her extravagant, indulgent elder uncle made Queen Victoria feel uncomfortable She adopted a policy of financial stringency during her residence in Brighton. As her family grew and the Royal Pavilion failed to provide her with the space and privacy she needed, she finally sold this pleasure palace to the town of Brighton for over £50,000 in 1850, and it was thought the building would be demolished. She ordered the building to be stripped of all its interior decorations, fittings and furnishings for use in other royal homes. Today, the Royal Pavilion is a living testament to George IV's Regency dream. It was a major influence on Brighton's growth and prosperity during the 19th century and is inextricably linked with the modern and vibrant city of Brighton today. Brighton has been described as the UK's hippest city, the happiest place to live in the UK, and the unofficial gay capital of the UK. Shopping, eating out, and wonderful nightlife is in abundance here. Fascinating places to shop includes the Lanes, Brighton High Street, Churchill Square, and some very interesting craft shops in the seafront. Now, all the way along these white cliffs, we have these doorways here behind us. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if these were used during World War II, possibly as air raid shelters or even areas dug out of these chalk cliffs, keeping ammunition or priceless British artefacts safe from those air raids during that war period. And you find these all the way along this stretch of white chalk. Now, I have no idea how hot it is today, but it's certainly a very warm one. Brianna and I are going to take 10-15 minute break. We're going to rehydrate before heading back towards Brighton for an exploration of Brighton Piers. Well, a part of our exploration here in Brighton, everybody, Brianna and I have brought you down here to Brighton Marina because it's a stunning location to visit if you're ever in town. And lots of people don't even realise this incredible marina even exists. And it's certainly stunning. The West Pier was built in 1866 and is one of only two Grade 1 listed piers in the United Kingdom. It has been closed since 1975. For some time it was under consideration of restoration, but two fires in 2003 and other setbacks led to these plans being abandoned. It has since fallen into decay and ruin and will one day disappear for good. The Palace Pier, however, opened in 1899, also known as the East Pier. It features a fun fair, restaurants and arcade halls. We are going to end this video exploring that pier. Now there's lots more to see and explore in Brighton, and one video alone cannot do this incredible city justice. Maybe a little further down the line, we will revisit this iconic city and explore more of what Brighton can offer us. So until next time, stay safe, keep well, and bye for now. Bye everybody, and thank you.